Hey there, folks! Ever wonder who discovered America? Besides the folks who were already living here? It's a story full of twists and turns. And today we're diving headfirst into the life of the man at the center of it all. Christopher Columbus. Here at Lexopedia, we're all about uncovering the truth, busting myths, and exploring the lives of history's most intriguing figures. So buckle up, because this journey is going to take us across oceans and through centuries of history.
Christopher Columbus, a name synonymous with exploration and discovery, is a figure shrouded in both admiration and controversy. Born in Genoa, Italy in 1451, Columbus's early life hinted at a thirst for adventure and a fascination with the vast unknown. From a young age, Columbus took to the seas, honing his navigational skills and developing a keen interest in cartography. After facing numerous rejections, he finally secured the support of King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella of Spain, setting the stage for a journey that would forever alter the course of history. Little did he know, his quest for a new trade route would lead him to a continent unknown to Europeans, sparking a chain of events with far-reaching consequences. Born in Genoa, Italy in 1451, Christopher Columbus's early life was a far cry from the grand voyages and daring expeditions that would later define him. His father, Domenico Colombo, was a wool weaver, and young Christopher likely spent his childhood amidst the bustling streets and vibrant markets of his hometown. But it was the allure of the sea, always present in the bustling port city of Genoa, that truly captured his imagination. It wouldn't be long before this young man from humble beginnings would set sail himself, embarking on a journey that would forever change the course of his life and the world as he knew it.
As a young man, Columbus took to the sea, drawn by the promise of adventure and the opportunity to see the world beyond his hometown. He initially sailed as a merchant, making his way along the well-established trade routes of the Mediterranean Sea. These early voyages honed his seafaring skills, teaching him the intricacies of navigation, ship handling, and the unpredictable nature of the open ocean. Columbus's travels took him to various ports, exposing him to different cultures, languages, and ways of life. The seeds of his ambition to find a westward route to the East Indies were sown during these formative years, taking root in his mind and setting the stage for his most daring voyage yet. By the late 15th century, Europe's appetite for spices, silks, and other treasures from the East was insatiable. However, the traditional land routes to the East Indies were long, perilous, and controlled by rival powers. Columbus, driven by a blend of ambition, religious zeal, and a thirst for knowledge, became fixated on finding a faster, more direct route by sailing westward. While many scholars and experts of the time dismissed his ideas as folly, Columbus remained undeterred. This unwavering belief, often bordering on obsession, would drive him to seek patronage for his audacious expedition, a quest that would lead him to the Spanish court of King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella.
Christopher Columbus embarked on 4 voyages across the Atlantic Ocean, each journey a testament to the explorer's ambition and the burgeoning age of exploration. His first voyage, launched in 1492, saw his 3 ships, the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria, set sail from Palos de la Frontera, Spain. After over 2 months at sea, facing dwindling supplies and mounting anxieties among his crew, land was sighted. Columbus, believing he had reached the East Indies, made landfall on an island in the Bahamas, a moment that would forever alter the course of history. While not the first to reach the Americas, Columbus's voyages marked the beginning of sustained European contact with the New World, opening the door to widespread exploration, colonization, and the exchange of goods, ideas, and diseases. However, these voyages were also marked by challenges, conflicts with indigenous populations, and growing discontent among Columbus's own crew.
Columbus's arrival in the Americas in 1492 marked a pivotal moment in history, initiating the first recorded encounter between Europeans and the indigenous peoples of the New World. The Taino people, who inhabited the islands Columbus first explored, welcomed the newcomers with a mixture of curiosity and hospitality. Initially, relations between the Spanish and the Taino were relatively peaceful, characterized by trade and cultural exchange. However, this initial period of relative peace quickly gave way to exploitation, enslavement, and violence. Driven by a thirst for gold, land, and the conversion of indigenous populations to Christianity, the Spanish, under Columbus's leadership, began to assert dominance over the Taino.
Columbus's voyages, while undeniably significant in terms of exploration and geographical discovery, also ushered in an era of European colonialism in the Americas. The Spanish, eager to exploit the resources and labor of the New World, established a vast colonial empire that stretched from present-day Mexico to the southern tip of South America. The consequences of this colonization were profound and often devastating for the indigenous populations of the Americas. Millions of native people were enslaved, killed by European diseases, or displaced from their ancestral lands. Today, Columbus remains a deeply polarizing figure, his name evoking both the spirit of exploration and the horrors of colonization.
Before Columbus set sail in 1492, the European understanding of the world's geography was vastly different than it is today. While ancient Greek scholars had theorized about a spherical Earth, these ideas had not been widely accepted in medieval Europe. Columbus, however, was influenced by the writings of geographers like Ptolemy, who had calculated a smaller circumference for the Earth. By daring to sail westward into uncharted waters, Columbus risked not only his life and the lives of his crew, but also the very foundations of European understanding of the world. Columbus's voyages had a profound impact on European cartography and geographical understanding. Prior to his expeditions, the Americas were entirely unknown to Europeans, and maps of the world typically depicted only Europe, Asia, and Africa. Upon his return from his first voyage, Columbus brought back detailed descriptions and rudimentary maps of the islands he had encountered in the Caribbean. These accounts, along with subsequent voyages by other explorers, sparked a wave of cartographic activity in Europe. The Americas, initially depicted as a chain of islands, slowly began to take shape as a vast landmass, forever altering the European perception of the globe. The geographical discoveries made by Columbus and those who followed in his wake had far-reaching consequences that extended far beyond the realm of cartography. The encounter between the eastern and western hemispheres, sparked by Columbus's voyages, triggered a period of intense global exchange known as the Columbian Exchange. This exchange involved the transfer of plants, animals, diseases, and people between the Old World and the New World, reshaping the ecological, demographic, and cultural landscapes of both hemispheres. Foods like potatoes, tomatoes, and corn were introduced to Europe, revolutionizing agriculture and diets. Conversely, European diseases like smallpox, measles, and influenza ravaged indigenous populations in the Americas, leading to widespread death and societal collapse.
While Christopher Columbus is often remembered as a larger-than-life explorer, it's easy to forget that he was also a man of flesh and blood, with his own quirks, beliefs, and personal experiences that shaped his worldview. Columbus was a devout Catholic, and his religious beliefs played a significant role in his life and explorations. He saw himself as an instrument of God, chosen to spread Christianity and bring the word of God to new lands and peoples. He was also a man of great ambition, driven by a desire for recognition, wealth, and a place in history. His writings reveal a complex individual, a blend of piety, ambition, and a touch of vanity, all woven into the fabric of his extraordinary life. Columbus's personal life, like his voyages, was marked by both joy and turmoil. He married Doña Felipa Moniz Perestrello, a member of a noble Portuguese family, in 1479. The couple had one son, Diego, who would later inherit his father's titles and estates. Some historians believe that he may have had another son, Fernando, out of wedlock, born before his marriage to Felipa. These personal struggles, often overshadowed by his grand voyages and historical significance, offer a glimpse into the human side of Columbus, a man grappling with family ties, ambition, and the weight of his own legacy. Even beyond his ambitious voyages, Columbus possessed a restless spirit, a constant yearning for knowledge and exploration that extended beyond the nautical realm. He was an avid reader, immersing himself in books on geography, astronomy, and classical history, seeking knowledge from ancient texts and contemporary scholars. This thirst for knowledge wasn't merely academic. It fueled his desire to experience the world firsthand, to chart unknown territories and unravel the mysteries of the globe. Columbus also had a keen eye for detail and a meticulous nature, evident in his detailed journals and logbooks, where he meticulously recorded observations about geography, weather patterns, flora and fauna, and the cultures he encountered. His restless spirit, while ultimately leading to both triumph and tragedy, left an undeniable mark on history, expanding the boundaries of human knowledge and forever altering our understanding of the world.
While Christopher Columbus is renowned for his groundbreaking voyages and significant role in shaping history, his expeditions were also punctuated by a series of amusing and peculiar anecdotes. These lesser-known tales offer a glimpse into the lighter side of exploration during the Age of Discovery and reveal the often humorous encounters that arose from cultural misunderstandings and the sheer novelty of encountering new lands and peoples. For instance, upon reaching the Caribbean islands, Columbus and his crew were astounded by the unfamiliar sights and sounds that greeted them. The lush tropical vegetation, vibrant bird life, and strange creatures they encountered were unlike anything they had ever seen before. Imagine their surprise when they first laid eyes on a pineapple, a fruit so exotic and bizarre to their European sensibilities. They marveled at its spiky exterior and juicy, sweet flesh, a taste sensation that would eventually become a global delicacy. Columbus's attempts to communicate with the indigenous populations he encountered often resulted in comical misunderstandings. Lacking a common language, both sides resorted to a combination of gestures, drawings, and improvised sign language, leading to plenty of head-scratching and amusement. Picture Columbus, armed with a quill and parchment, trying to explain the concept of a calendar and the passage of time to a group of bewildered natives. Their expressions a mixture of curiosity and utter confusion. One of the most enduring misconceptions surrounding Christopher Columbus is that he believed the Earth was flat. Contrary to popular belief, most educated Europeans during Columbus's time already accepted that the Earth was spherical. Columbus's miscalculation, and the source of much debate and amusement among historians, lies in his estimation of the Earth's circumference. He significantly underestimated the distance he would need to travel westward to reach the East Indies, believing the journey to be far shorter than it actually was. This miscalculation, based on a combination of ancient texts, flawed interpretations of geographical data, and perhaps a touch of wishful thinking, ultimately worked in his favor. Had he accurately calculated the true distance, he might never have embarked on his daring voyage, fearing the journey to be too perilous and the supplies insufficient. Columbus's encounters with the flora and fauna of the New World were not always pleasant surprises. Take, for instance, his first encounter with chili peppers. Unaccustomed to the fiery heat of these pungent fruits, Columbus and his crew were in for a rude awakening when they sampled these exotic delicacies. One can only imagine the sputtering, the frantic gulping of water, and the bewildered expressions as they grappled with the unexpected spiciness of this New World staple. This spicy encounter, while initially shocking, would eventually lead to the widespread adoption of chili peppers in European cuisine, forever altering the flavors of the Old World.
Christopher Columbus's most significant contribution was the revelation of the Americas to Europe. His voyages marked the beginning of sustained contact, forever changing history. His arrival in the Caribbean shattered existing geographical conceptions. This discovery sparked a wave of exploration and new trade routes. The influx of precious metals enriched European powers. However, this expansion came at a heavy cost for indigenous populations. Columbus's arrival marked the beginning of European colonialism in the New World. Columbus's voyages led to an unprecedented exchange of goods, plants, animals, and diseases. Known as the Columbian Exchange, it transformed diets, economies, and ecosystems globally. New crops like potatoes, tomatoes, and corn revolutionized European agriculture. Conversely, livestock like horses and cattle transformed the Americas. However, European diseases devastated Native American populations, paving the way for colonization.
Christopher Columbus's legacy is a complex and often contradictory one. For centuries, he was hailed as a visionary explorer, a symbol of courage and discovery. However, recent reevaluations emphasize the negative consequences of his voyages for indigenous peoples. Critics point to his role in initiating European colonialism and exploitation. European diseases had a devastating impact on indigenous populations. Today, Columbus remains a deeply polarizing figure, his legacy a subject of ongoing debate.
Well, folks, there you have it. The story of Christopher Columbus. A tale of daring voyages, groundbreaking discoveries, and a legacy that continues to spark debate even today. He dared to challenge the known world, and in doing so, he changed the course of history. But his story is just one piece of a much larger puzzle. It's a reminder that history is rarely black and white. It's filled with complexities, contradictions, and the enduring impact of human choices. What do you think about Christopher Columbus? Was he a hero, a villain, something in between? Head down to the comments and let's keep this conversation going. And hey, before you set sail for another adventure, don't forget to subscribe to Lexopedia for more fascinating journeys through history. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Thanks for watching.